Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm speaking to you tonight at a very serious moment in our history. For months now, the knowledge that something of this kind might happen has been hanging over our heads, and yet it seemed impossible to believe, impossible to drop the everyday things of life and feel that there was only one thing which was important: preparation to meet an enemy, no matter where he struck.
Dear Jack, it's only been a year since that night on the beach, but it feels like 100 lifetimes. I don't know when you'll get this. Your sister's growing up so fast. I took her to volunteer in the defense plant last Tuesday. She didn't like the burning rubber smell, but she stuck it out. When you get back, we'll have a real meal with steak, potatoes, and everything you don't get on the road. I think I'm getting the hang of some of the recipes from Mother's old book. Granted, the rations make it hard to cook. Some of these recipes are god-awful, but it won't matter once you're back home. Remember when we listened to that record the night before you left? It was like the world and the war were just hazy daydreams, and our dance was the only thing that held it all at bay. The room spun around our heads like that record, and living meant more to us than any gemstone they could ever offer us. That's what you're fighting for, Jack. When we see each other again, we'll play it all night and forget the days we spent so far away.
Small cafe, the park across the way, the children's carousel, the chestnut tree.
Dear Cynthia, right now we're in a frosty village that's seen the worst that the war has to offer. Half these kids haven't had a loaf of bread in days. All I want is to be home with you, but you and I both know that that can't happen.
In every
At least for now.
lovely summer's day.
Don't worry. Remember what I promised you before I left?
In
I'll always send a letter before the week is through.
light and gay.
Much love, Jack.
I'll always think of you that way. I'll
Jack,
find you
don't try to be a hero.
in the
I know how you get.
morning
This is serious,
sun.
and I couldn't live the rest of my life alone.
And when
Come home.
the
Let's watch the tide go out
night
again.
is new,
Together.
I'll be looking at the moon, but I'll be seeing you. I'll be seeing you.
Dear Cynthia, the birds stopped singing today. We can still see them in the trees, but they're as silent as the grave. Our chaplain, or the closest thing we've got to one, thinks it's because of everything that's happened these past few months. This war, it doesn't matter if you've held a rifle for longer than the kid next to you, or know a bit of German from a girl you dated back home. From 50 feet away, all they see is a good place to empty their clips. I hope this doesn't worry you too much, but I can't take it anymore. Someday you'll read these, and when you do, remember all the pretty things we did together. Promise me that much. Much love, Jack.
Dear Jack, I'm scared. I know I'm here and you're there, but it's like I can see everything. Hear everything. When I close my eyes at night, there's always gunfire, and then I see your face. I want to tell you that everything's going to be all right, even if it isn't. You can't hear me, but I'm here. Hold on to that, Jack. Cynthia. Dear Jack, your letter didn't come today. You said you'd always send a letter before a week was up. Well, it's been a week to the day. Forget the war. Come home. You don't owe anyone a thing. Cynthia. Dear Jack, you told me not to worry unless a week went by with no letter. Well, it's been a week and a half and still nothing. I'm still holding on to hope that the next letter I receive will be from you and not from the Secretary of War. Dear Jack, I wish things had been different. I wish this terrible war had never happened and we could have spent the rest of our lives together, just like we planned. I know if you were here, you'd tell me to find someone that makes me happy. You tell me that everything would be alright and that I should move on, but I don't see how I can. I love you, Jack. No matter what, I'll always love you and I'll always be waiting for you to come home. Cynthia.
And when the night is new, I'll be looking at the moon, but I'll be seeing